Warning: Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
Dancing
it goes.
around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God! That's crazy.
No. Why? Oh, well, big surprise.
Oh God.
Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay.
Oh.
Alright, Trez, what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking a pucca vanilla chai because I have so many of them now.
I thought you just bought one box.
It was 2 for €6 in Holland Barter, which is pretty good.
And how many's in a box?
I think there's 20.
Oh, that's all right.
So I used to drink them quite sparingly, but now I'm like, I can have one a day, I can have 2 a day. Treat yourself, it's the little things. What about you? What are you drinking, Maria?
I'm drinking Marks and Spencer's raspberry tea, but I added ice to it. But it's so hot in Hong Kong at the moment that all the ice is melted. So it's basically just like tea, Ribena.
You're so unlucky that it's so warm. It's actually quite warm here as well. It's not too bad. There is a lack of ice. Every time we've ordered ice somewhere.
Yeah, they're stingy on
There's
it.
something going on.
Yeah.
We went to Nando's yesterday. No ice. Not even in... I always just get tap water or whatever, but Dan got a Coke Zero and he on the app he ticked ice and it just didn't come with any ice. Went to McDonald's, no ice in McDonald's.
What?
I'm revealing how awful my diet is here. But yeah, no ice. Don't know what's going on.
Actually, we just went to Outback for lunch and yeah, there was no ice in our iced tea. It was just
what is going on? It's people don't care anymore about the service. They're you should just be happy to be here.
I think it's just everybody's drinking cold drinks.
Maybe.
Nobody's really drinking hot drinks.
We went to the cinema and they did the ice blast. Do you know what an ice blast is?
Like a Slurpee?
Yeah, it's kind of like a slushie, but with Coke or Fanta.
Yeah, we have this, yeah.
And we got there and we paid for it on the app or whatever, the screens. And then we went up to collect it and the guy is yeah, that machine's broken. And I was you're going to have to get a refund for flipping slushie. And then Dan was this is the whole reason I came to the cinema. And I was oh, I'm so sorry. And he was just such bad humor then.
That's so funny. I am that too. Slushies to me is so nostalgic. It's just, I love slushies so much.
Yeah, it's a whole experience of the cinema. And they handled it really badly as well. The whole, I'll not even get into it, but it was just he almost wanted to not be there. And I was just but the movie. And, yeah, anyway. We tried to make them at home and they were crap. Really crap.
No, because you need that machine thing.
Yeah.
Did you see there's a documentary we watched when it was on Vox or something like that? And it was talking about why the McDonald's ice cream or milkshake machine is always broken.
Oh, what's the reason?
I don't know. It's just it was recommended to me and Jan for some reason. And it played on from whatever we were watching last. And we're just okay.
It's such a specific documentary.
Yeah, it's a proper documentary. It's a conspiracy theory why the McDonald's milkshake or ice cream machine is always broken. It's and it's apparently the ice cream machine is the exact same one made by Wendy's, In-N-Out and KFC, but it's only ever McDonald's is broken.
Weird.
Yeah, it was okay.
Maybe they're you've had enough calories.
No.
You don't need this ice cream.
No, basically it's sort of nepotism, sort of. I don't know if it's nepotism or it's back scratching. It's the company that makes the ice cream machines and McDonald's are best friends. And I don't know, they basically McDonald's has these really shit machines. So basically the machine breaks all the time and it has these weird incomprehensible codes. So they have to get McDonald's which is all franchised. McDonald's has to get the repair guy, a specific repair guy to come and fix it. And it costs, what is it? It's something ridiculous, like $20 a minute.
What?
It's like, I don't know, it's something ridiculous amount of money for this one person. He has to come and fix the machine.
Bizarre.
Yeah, and nobody else is allowed to fix it. And if like the manager or an employee tries to fix the machine, they break their franchise licensing insurance or something.
Yeah. It's a bit like you have that with printers and different things sometimes. It's like if you tamper with it, then you break the warranty. Yeah.
And it's just like insane. And like there was somebody came up with an app that could it could tell the McDonald's employees what exactly is wrong with the machine, so that they could, because like it was all, it's like error 43, and it's like what, I don't know what error 43 means. And then
this is like so dramatic.
It's like I don't know, it's fucking milkshake, but it's not. It's just, I don't know what the word. It's like nepotism, back scratching sort of thing.
There's probably a word for that. All right.
I don't know what it is, but it's like,
yeah.
But it's really bad for the franchisee people. Like they're the ones who have to foot the bill, because like McDonald's head office, they're the ones that had to have the golden handshake with Taylor. But they don't pay anything. It's the franchisee, it's the little guys that pay.
It's awful.
Who own the local McDonald's. They have to pay for it out of pocket, not big McDonald's. I don't know, it's really fucked.
Not
really
fair at all.
No, it's not fair. But yeah, that made me think of the documentary. It was weird.
So many problems right now.
Wait, did we talk about me time?
So, what are we talking about today?
We didn't talk about me time.
Oh my god.
We've just been talking
about... I know you have a hair mask on.
So I was like tidying up my room, and I was going through, and I realised that I still hadn't used the hair mask you gave me for Christmas.
Oh, stop. It was really cute, the packaging, I remember.
It's a little bear. It says Bear Fruits, coconut hair mask and cap. And I've got it on right.
And it was in the shape of a coconut. That's the whole reason I
Oh my
it.
God. I thought it was just going to be a little plastic hat, but it's like an actual coconut. It's like, looks like a coconut. My head is brown.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's brown, and I've got a little straw, and it's like a coconut inside.
That's hilarious.
Should I send you a picture?
You should, yeah.
Here.
I got that in Superdrug. Oh God, I miss Superdrug. There's so many cool little things like that. There was loads of them. I was debating what to get you. They had all these like hair masks, face masks, and then they had like boob masks and butt masks. Do you know what? I think we already talked about this on the podcast.
What?
The boob
Butt
masks and the butt masks that I very nearly got you.
What's a boob mask?
There's boob masks is a thing now.
What, does it make your boobs bigger? You say
I don't know, it just hydrates them or whatever, the skin. Plumps them, I guess.
Plumpy.
We're not there yet.
Not yet, I don't know.
Kind of spring chickens, so we're all right.
After my period, they sort of deflate a bit.
Well, maybe I should have got you. I'll get you next birthday.
Anyway, what's your me time?
My me time is going to be a little Garnier Skin Active Moisture Bomb Tissue Mask. This
case was sent to me by, not his real name, Len Mullen.
Is that even a name? I know this is a fake name, but is that even a real fake name?
So he sent it to me privately. He was saying this is a good case, you should cover it.
Okay.
So I just want to say thank you, but I'm not going to say your name properly.
Thank you, Len. Like Lenny from The Simpsons.
Do you know the story of Raonaid Murray?
No, and you're making up all these names. I'm only joking. I do not.
Well, today I'm going to tell you about a case that takes place only 10 minutes drive from Monkstown, Dublin.
Okay.
This is where the unsolved murder of Charles Self took place.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's a continuation.
Well, not really.
No?
It's so where Charles Self was murdered, this other poor girl was murdered also, 10-minute drive away.
Oh, like it wasn't done by the same person.
No.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So 20...
But it's unsolved, so maybe it was.
I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Okay.
20 days before the murder of Charles Self, in Glengarry, South Dublin, Raonaid Murray was born on New Year's Day, the 1st of January 1982. She was born, and then 20 days later, Charles Self was murdered. It's like, and it's all in like, it's like literally a 10-minute drive from his house to
Okay.
her house. And they're both...
This was going to be my next question, but you've already answered it. I
What?
wasn't sure if that was a female name.
Raonaid is a female name, yeah.
Okay.
Raonaid was the baby of the family, with an older brother and older sister. Her parents, Jim and Deirdre, gave her the name Raonaid, which is the Irish version of Rachel.
Gotcha. You know, it's mad. You think you know some Irish names, and then you come down here and you learn a new one like every other week.
That must be nice.
Not really. I don't know how to spell them. You meet someone and then you're like trying to write down their email address and you're like, I have no idea.
Eventually, her friends, many would just call her Rainey.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
So cute. Rainey went to St. Joseph of Cluny Secondary School, a nearby...
Cluny.
I think it's Cluny. I think I might be saying this wrong. Cluny?
Okay.
Cluny? I'm not too sure. Secondary school. A nearby private Catholic convent school. Here she did well academically. She was smart, observant, and quick-witted. Rainey enjoyed reading and poetry in particular, and wanted to be a professional writer when she grew up. Raonaid did well socially too. She had many friends who described her as an optimistic and compassionate person. When Raonaid was a teen, she started hanging out with other similar teens. They used to call themselves the Dunleary Crew.
Very cool.
It's like the area that they all like hung out in.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, so original, guys.
Wow, guys. This is all pre-mobiles. So...
Oh, God.
I know. Late 90s. Pre-mobiles, the Dunleary Crew would just agree to meet in like the local teen locations.
Mm-hmm.
The teens would get together. They would just chill. They all wore dark clothes.
Nice.
Listened to rock music. Hung out in secluded places. Drinking beer. Smoking cigarettes. And scoring the occasional blunt.
Nice.
Rebels.
What age are these people?
I think they're like 16 or something like that. Like
Okay.
normal kid stuff. You know, like that's what you do before you can legally go into the pubs. You just sort of...
Oh, yeah, there's nowhere to go.
You just, hang around by the nearest picnic bench. The Dunleary Crew was tight. However, one girl was a bit odd.
Okay. There's always one.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who it was you.
Oh no, was it me?
I wasn't talking to you. I was saying.
Okay. She was incredibly jealous of the other girls in the group, and she would obsess and stew and rage for weeks over these jealousies.
Oh, like boy jealousies or what? She
was jealous of girls. Like, she's prettier than me, she's funnier than me, she's smarter than me. Like, people like her more than me. Adolescence is the worst. When this chick became angered and frustrated, she would become violent. She would say weird and inappropriate things, sometimes hitting and hurting herself and others. Okay. After a violent outburst one time, one of the boys was like, she is psychotic. Towards the end, I can hear my little... It's like quite tight.
What is that?
It's the hair mask.
Oh, yeah.
It's tight on my head. It's left a big mark. Towards the end of high school, the Dunleary Crew were less intense. They still hung out, but, you know, like they wore less black clothes. Due to having part-time jobs and obligations, they hung out more on the weekends. Mm-hmm. They were starting to mature and, you know, thinking about the future. However, when Raina got her Leaving Cert results, she was disappointed that they were not higher. She did okay, but they weren't high enough to be accepted onto the uni course she wanted to take.
No.
She wanted to study arts at the University City College Dublin. But she had a plan. She was going to keep her head down, work part-time, study hard, and resit the Leaving Cert next year.
Okay.
Little did she know she would never get to follow her plans.
No.
On the 4th of September, 1999...
Is this crazy bee gonna kill her? Fuck me. Let her go to art school. Let her live her life. Oh my god. I don't know. You say it's Unsolved. I say it was this looper.
I haven't even got to the murder yet. How do you know
I'm closing the case
because I mentioned her. I was like, I shouldn't mention the crazy one. Maybe I shouldn't mention her.
Oh, okay.
On the 4th of September 1999, 17-year-old Raonaid was working her part-time job in Sally West Clothing, which is like an older...
I thought you were going to say Sally Hansen.
Sally Hansen, the fake tan.
It's still going.
Is it? It's so thick. It's like putting foundation.
What does thick mean?
Like, it's like a layer.
What? Oh, I always get that mixed up. I mean, Sally, I always say that wrong.
What?
Sally, the salon. What was it called?
Salon.
Sally.
Oh, Salon Services.
Salon Services. Wait.
But it used to be called Sally's.
Sally's.
Anyway, no, she was at Sally West. It's a clothing store for like older ladies' fashion like shop in a shopping mall.
Right.
She met a Dunleary crew friend for lunch. After lunch, her friend walked her back to the shop. They said goodbye, not knowing it was to be their last.
Aww.
After lunch, Raonaid's mum also popped into the store to take advantage of the sale. Deirdre said that she feels so lucky to have had this lovely moment with her youngest child. As Deirdre left the shop, Raonaid called to her. Bye, Mum. I'll see you later.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
It's very sad. Raonaid finished her shift at 9 p.m. and is caught on the mall CCTV camera leaving. Raonaid and a friend stopped in at Scott's bar. They chatted and had a few drinks, then decided to make plans to go out. This is back before like everyone had mobiles.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her friends sent texts off her friend's phone. They all planned to meet at their favourite nightclub, Paparazzi's. Raonaid said she needed to... I know, Paparazzi's.
Great name. That could be a famous club in Belfast or Dublin for all I know.
It just reeks of early 2000s, like late 90s.
Doesn't it?
Paparazzi's. Ugh.
Love
Ugh.
it. Like, it reminds me of Limelight.
That's Paparazzi's is still worse. It's still worse. But Raonaid said she needed to change first. She told her friend she'll meet them at about midnight at Paparazzi's after she runs home. She only lives a 15-minute walk away, and it was a nice, warm, dry night. Raonaid is caught on the CCTV camera leaving Scott's pub at 11:20. After this, Raonaid's final hour is still to this day basically unknown.
Oh, no.
She was wearing a blue short-sleeve top, dark trousers, black platform ankle boots. She was carrying a black shoulder bag and a Sally West shopping bag. She was also wearing her distinctive blue stud in her nose. At 12:03, about 45 minutes later, Raonaid was spotted walking alone at a junction that was halfway through her route home, despite the fact that it should have only taken her 8 minutes to walk there from Scott's pub.
So what happened in that time?
Because she only lives a 15-minute walk from the pub, from Scott's pub to her house, 15 minutes. 45 minutes later, she's only halfway. She could have walked home and walked back with time to spare, but she's only halfway.
Do we know who spotted her?
I think it was like a guy sitting in a car. It was like, oh, I seen her at the junction.
Okay.
At 12:10, so like about 7 minutes later, we know that Raonaid took a little shortcut, an overgrown and badly lit lane.
No.
The lane brought her to the entrance of her housing development. As Raonaid was walking through this little shortcut, people who were sitting outside could hear an argument between a man and a woman. The woman was shouting, "Go away! Leave me alone! Fuck off!" Then there was a scream and silence.
Oh dear God.
About 20 minutes later, at 12:33 a.m., Raonaid's older sister, Sarah, and a group of friends were in a taxi coming back from town. The taxi dropped them off at the entrance of the housing development, and when the group got out of the car, they were greeted with Raonaid. She was lying under a tree on the sidewalk. She was dead.
Dear God. Her sister?
Her sister found her.
Oh. That is the worst. Sorry, continue. She was under a tree.
She was dead.
But wait a minute. People heard this thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
And they did what? They just thought it was just a fight or what? Or
I suppose so.
they didn't report it?
This happened in the Charles Self case. Where, they were like, yeah, we heard screaming.
But you don't ever think it's life or death, yeah. Okay, so she's been found under a tree. Oh my god. So, under the tree sounds like she was placed there.
No, we're about to get to that.
Okay.
Raonaid had been stabbed 4 times in the side, chest, and shoulder with a 1.5-inch sharp knife.
Oh, Jesus.
Tragically, she was only a few yards from her family's home.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whoever her attacker was, they knew where her home was.
Yeah.
Like, they were there, poised and ready, I'd say, waiting for her.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah.
Uh-huh. But also, is that not a bit risky if you want to take someone out to do it so close to their home? Maybe it was their only opportunity.
Maybe they were ballsy.
Yeah, well, or maybe they were crazy, like that crazy girl.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Sarah, Raonaid's sister, ran home to tell her parents and call the police, while her friend, a nurse, stayed and checked for a pulse.
Her friend was a nurse?
Yeah.
Because I was about to ask, what was it, an older sister?
Yeah, older sister, and her older sister's friend was a nurse, and she stayed with Raonaid to emergency stuff, but she was already dead. There was no pulse.
My God.
Deirdre and Jim came running to the scene. Police and an ambulance came quickly too. While all of this was going on, it was noted that a young woman in her late teens to early 20s, about 5'6", with shoulder-length hair, was seen observing this chaos.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. She stood back.
Do we ever get confirmation of who exactly it was?
Mm-mm.
They just think that it's probably year one.
She stayed for 15 minutes and walked away. Never identified.
Oh my God, I hate that.
Yeah. About 50 yards away, in the darkest part of the shortcut lane, a pool of blood was found. A later autopsy showed that she had been viciously attacked. Raonaid had fought off 30 stab attempts.
Oh, jeekers.
The knife had cut her clothes, poked her, and scratched her. Raonaid was not sexually assaulted, nor were her possessions stolen. This was most likely a rage killing.
Mm-hmm.
When her attacker left her, for whatever reason, from the darkest part of the shortcut, Raonaid, exhausted and bleeding, struggled for 50 yards to get to the safety of her home.
Oh,
but she never did.
Oh, God. That's really rough.
Yeah. The next morning, the friend who Raonaid was with in Scott's pub received a phone call. It was the psycho girl.
No. What is her name, by the way? Or did you ever say?
There's no names. I was going to give them pseudo-names, but then I got lazy and didn't.
Psycho girl. It's all right. I know who you're on about.
Yeah, I've just given them very, very non-PC names. It was the psycho girl. Raonaid has been killed, is all she said.
What?
Yeah, she said it with no emotion, and she didn't say anything else. Then she hung up the phone.
What? I'm wondering, is it one of those scenarios where she shouldn't know about the murder yet? Like, it hasn't been released to the public kind of a thing?
I'm not too sure how she knows. It was a little bit iffy, because she knew the next day.
But I suppose, the sister knew about the murder, her friends knew about it.
Word could have got out
travels.
quickly. Yeah. It could have.
Okay, yeah.
Or it could have been her.
Yeah.
If you killed somebody, would you call and say, Zara is dead?
No, but if you were a psycho, you might.
Psychopath, yeah, you might.
This girl does not sound well at all. It's a very weird thing to do.
And that is where we will end this episode.
Ah, you're killing me. I know.
Yeah. So next week we will delve into the suspects. Was delve into the suspects, the police actions and activities, and the aftermath of the whole thing.
Amazing. I'm also thinking the way that she called up the friend from the pub, it's almost a bit like an assassin, like, it's been done. Like, is he in on it? Or, like,
I don't
because you
know.
wouldn't deliver bad news like that.
I know.
Like, I don't know. I'm very confused by that whole scenario. I'm very excited for the next one.
Good. I want to say thank you again to Len Mullen. You know who you are.
Go on, Len.
For recommending this case.
Everyone's got pseudonyms in this case. Even Len.
Yeah. Please subscribe to our podcast.
Subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah. Subscribe to our Instagram.
Subscribe to it all so that you'll see when the episodes come out. And all the funny content that Marion puts up.
All the memes.
I have a couple in the bag.
Of memes?
That I need to put up. I've got a real good one.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a meme. I just find it really funny. Stay tuned.
Right. Subscribe
it's
to
going to be such a letdown. Well, describe it. It has to do with someone from Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, I love Pretty Little Liars.
But it's true crime. Well, it's crime related.
And leave us a review and 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, I'll send it back.
No one is going to get that, right?
People watch The Office.
Maybe,
if it comes on top, I send it back.
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway, okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I made a Michael Scott reference. It was so flippin' obvious, like the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, was it Mommy or Daddy doing Kevin? And I was like, or maybe it was Dan. What was it did I say?
Maybe it was Dan.
I can't remember. Anyway.
I don't.
Oh, wait.
What?
Yeah. It was like, date Mike. Nice to meet me. And Dan was like, what? Because Dan and I were going on a date. And like, he was being all like, different. And I was like, you're like, date Dan. And he was like, what? He's like, like, date Mike, nice to meet me. And he was like, I thought I was having a stroke or something. He was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, oh, you don't get. He's seen that episode.
Yeah, but he's only watched it once.
I know, that's true. Yeah.
Me and Jan were literally talking yesterday. We're like, it's been a year since we watched The Office. I think we can start again.
It's about time. Yeah, it's about that time of year.
You did watch it like every other year, I'd say. Or maybe even once a year.
Mom and Daddy just can't watch it continuously. It's like on a loop. Do you know when you were talking about the shortcut, do you know what it reminded me of?
I knew you were going to say this.
Yeah.
The Black Path.
Oh, wait, no, but that is really scary.
Oh.
For some reason, it reminded me of the shortcut we used to take to the shop through Magdala Street.
In Belfast.
We would go behind, instead of going all the way around, we'd go behind, and there was this alley. Oh, I hated it.
But it was so much faster.
So much faster. If you really want a packet of crisps, like, you would risk it down the alley,
Risk your life for a packet of crisps.
You would, if you really needed it really badly, really hungover.
Were you there that time? Was it you and me? I feel like there was somebody else there as well, the time that we were going to go through the alley. And we would go through it during the day, fine, right? Was it night we were really scared of it?
God, it was so scary.
So scary. But I remember one time we were cutting through it in the daytime. And like, I went to go in from the shop to the house, and there was 2 kids. There was like older teens.
I remember this. I remember you telling me this.
Who was I with? Maybe I was with Mike.
I think you just came back to the house and told me. And you were mortified.
Oh my God, I walked around the corner and there was 2 teenagers snogging and about to start shagging. They're like feeling each other up and down, and they're like ready to go at it. And I turn around the corner and I'm like, ah! And I scream like, ah! And I like run off. I'm so shocked. And I remember I could hear the guy who was with the guy was like laughing at me. I could hear him like, ah!
Because you would never meet anyone. It was so narrow. And I feel like a lot of people didn't even know about it. Like, it wasn't even a real, I don't know, it was like you were sandwiched in between the houses or something. It was like,
Yeah.
it was horrible, but like you would never meet anyone, like maybe a rat, but like, yeah, that you must have got such a shock.
God, my heart, yeah. I think I was with somebody. I was definitely with somebody.
Were you? Okay.
I think I was with like Mike or Kirsty or
They
somebody.
shouldn't have been there because it's really gross.
How
could
gross.
You get sexy there?
Sexy time.
It was smelly, that alley. Anyway,
I'll have to cut this out and put it in at the end or at the start or something.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
Totally inappropriate.
This reminded me of that. Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page. By the way, I've meant to mention this a few times on the podcast, and I keep forgetting. So Dan has recently accidentally got into true crime.
Oh, right? Jaren. Yeah.
Hilarious. So he's on YouTube and he watches these like self-defense videos. It's such a man thing.
Oh my God.
Right? You watch these, and it's all like American guys saying like, self-defense, you gotta be on guard, right? I don't know why he watches them. Anyway. So, well, I do know why. They're quite entertaining. But anyway, it's like CCTV footage, you know, of like people getting into fights or whatever. So that kind of spiraled, and then YouTube started like giving him case like or different video recommendations. So he'll come up to me in the kitchen and he'll be like, so I watched this video about this girl who like killed her baby, and I'm like, Casey Anthony, and he's just like, how did you know that? And then he'll come up and he'll be like, so I watched this video about this girl who killed her boyfriend in the shower, and he's just like comes up with all these like they're freaking like to him they are like so new.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, they're really well known. Huh?
Jodie Arias.
Yeah, Jodie Arias.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd be like, is her name Jodie? And he would be like, yeah. And he thinks he's telling me something.
Oh.
And I already know it, and it's very cute.
Oh, but wait until he hears the John Benet Ramsey case.
He hasn't heard that one yet. No. But it's just really like adorable. I'm just like, oh.
Warning: Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
dancing
it goes.
Around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
No, why? Oh well, big surprise.
Oh God.
Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay.
Oh.
Okay, Tres, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Pucka 3 Ginger. One of my favourites. What about you, Miriam? What are you drinking?
I am drinking Soul Browse grapefruit and mint iced tea from...
What is a Soul Browse?
Sorry, no, this is just the local Mexican restaurant. It's called Soul Bros.
Soul Bros.
So it's actually... Okay, I have to clarify that because it is Mexican-Korean fusion.
Oh my God.
Like, so it's like soul...
I kind of love that.
Yeah. It's such a good mix.
Yes, I am so for that.
What about your me time? What are you doing?
I am putting on the Boots Ingredients Salicylic Acid Serum. It's a good budget product. Mm-hmm. What about you, Miriam? What are you doing for your me time?
Today I have got on the L'Oreal Paris LV Intensive Purple Mask, Anti-Brassiness and Intense Care for bleached hair.
Oh.
Even on dark bases.
How long do you leave it on?
Well, as long as this episode lasts.
Okay. Nice.
Yes, I ordered it off ASOS and I've used it before and it is incredible. So, because I personally hate getting that yellow tinge. It's like some people don't mind it and some people suit it. I no like it. So I'm like constantly on the lookout.
Most blondes, like when they do talk about their hair quite a bit. And when they talk about it, it's always it's so brassy, so yellow, and like I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, you look lovely, but I think
you
they
don't
all
notice it.
hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah,
Because it's like, when you look at it too long,
Uh-huh.
you're like, my hair looks yellow.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't look blonde, it looks yellow.
Right.
Okay, Trez, let's do a review of last week's
recap.
episode. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Tell the audience what you learned.
Oh, my Lord. So, Raina, 16, 17-year-old Raina, late 90s, lovely girl, wants to go to art school, working real hard, working her butt off, coming home from work. Psycho friend, I think it was her psycho friend, kills her down a dark shortcut, which just brings me back to never take the dark shortcuts. Even though we used to take them, like the black path that you're talking about, we used to take that all the time.
Oh my
I
God,
hated it, but I still did
so much
it.
faster. Yeah,
you do it, don't you? You do these things.
Yeah. And I did it at night sometimes.
Oh, it's horrible at night.
Very scary.
So yeah, she was found by her sister, dead under a tree a few yards from her family home, and a psycho girl called up one of the friends in the group to inform them that Raina was dead, and that's where we left off.
Yeah, basically. Good recap, Trez.
Thanks. I've been working on my recaps.
I do 5 recaps a day.
What is that from?
Nothing. I made it up.
Sound like Napoleon Dynamite.
That's a funny show.
I love it.
So today we're going to talk about the suspects. No, wait. First, the autopsy, apparently.
Okay.
So the autopsy.
Oh yeah.
No,
So she had
yes.
Okay. 5 stab wounds.
4.
4
stab
wounds. But she dodged like 30 of them.
Yeah.
Which is super impressive.
Why do you think it's impressive? Let's see if you can guess. Or not why do I
think it's impressive?
Why do you think there was 30 attempts? That's a lot of attempts.
It's a lot of attempts.
Right?
Maybe it is your one, the psycho girl.
Why?
Who's just crazy and she's swinging it all around. And whereas if it was a man, they could probably overpower you much easier. You know, they grab your wrist or whatever. They have that physical force and like strength over you.
Yeah, this is exactly one of the things that was brought up. They were saying that with 30 attempted stab wounds and only 4 stabs to take place, it seems likely that the attacker was of equal strength.
Yes.
Perhaps the police should be looking for a young female. And this has always been speculated. And it's like a very popular theory. Like 30 attempts. 30 attempts. Like, yeah, it's somebody of equal power. Strength, whatever. The autopsy also speculated that the weapon, although not found, was a caterer's knife or a butcher's knife.
No way. Sorry, did you just say they never found the weapon?
Never found it, but based on
the stab wounds, they can tell by the incisions or whatever.
They're thinking it's something like this.
Did Psycho Girl? Did her dad work in a butcher's, or did her
I don't know.
Did she have access to that type of knife? What did you say? A carvery knife or like a
caterer's knife?
A caterer's knife?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Maybe it is a carvery knife? No, it's only an inch and a half.
What is a caterer's knife?
It was only an inch and a half.
Oh.
What is
That's a really weird weapon of choice. Maybe she carried this all the time. Inch and a half is not.
I don't understand what they mean by it has to be a butcher or I have knives like that in my kitchen.
An inch and a half could be the angle of the blade, or I don't really understand it either. Caterer's knife.
Yeah,
something for meat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I have 2 of those knives.
Okay.
Well, police were of the opinion that it could be
you then.
It's okay, we're of equal strength.
So you don't even eat meat, so what are you using those knives for, Miriam? Huh? Got a lot of explaining to do.
It's for chopping my celery.
Wow.
It's literally what I use it for.
I know you don't like celery, so I know you're lying. I'm on to you.
I do like celery now, Trez.
Oh my God, you've changed. Who are you? You're not my sister.
I told you what happened. I got
You
drunk
did
one
not. This is like really big news.
I got drunk one time on Bloody Marys. I was drinking Bloody Marys and I was smashed. And I just started eating the celery without noticing. I was like eating
That's
it and eating
hilarious.
it. Yeah, and I had like 3 Bloody Marys. And I kept eating the celery because I was so hungry. And now I like celery.
That's unbelievable. So you mean now
Tres.
when I order the Chinese, I don't have to be that awkward bastard that
No, I
asks
don't
for
want-
everything with no celery?
I don't want celery in my spring rolls, no.
Oh, you still don't. You're still an awkward bitch. Okay, all right. Kids knows things haven't changed that much.
But I do eat it raw. I eat it raw. I don't know if I can
But
eat
you
it
just
cooked
don't like
yet.
it cooked.
I don't know. Maybe I don't like it cooked yet. Maybe I need time. More time.
Oh,
Why are we talking about celery? Oh, wait, the knife.
celery has nothing to do with this case.
Okay,
We are
knife.
so the butcher knife. What about it?
Um,
What's next?
that's it. The police are like, we are either on the look for a caterer, a butcher, or like a young female.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the suspects that police did hone in on was the blood-stained man.
Who is it?
Bum, bum, bum.
The
About an
bloodstain.
hour after Raonaid's murder, a taximan told the police that he had picked up an agitated man from outside Raonaid's shopping mall.
Oh.
He was extremely agitated and nervous. He had reddish-looking bloodstains all over his trousers and top. The man said he needed to go to Granville Road and wanted to get home before his girlfriend got home. While
Why
driving...
Did he, give him that information?
I also thought that was strange. I was like, the taxi man doesn't care about your relationship. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also thought
Right.
that was weird. But apparently he said that's this to the taxi man.
Mm-hmm. Just makes him look even more suspicious.
But while driving...
I don't know if I was the taxi man, if I would let someone who's covered in blood get in my car.
He probably didn't notice until he was in the car.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe the stains were dried in. Mm.
But while driving, the bloodstained man was backseat driving and giving the taxi driver different directions. Yeah.
But if this guy has committed a crime, you'd want to act a bit more low key. You don't want to be memorable. Why would you backseat drive? All right, go on.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
All this backseat driving, it actually ended up taking him 3 times as long to get to the destination that he was apparently in a rush to get to.
This is very bizarre.
The taxi driver also thought it was bizarre. And he watched the bloodstained man get out of the car, go walk up the driveway, and as the taxi man pulled away, he watched the bloodstained man, didn't seem to go into the house, but rather he just stood behind a bush.
What?
Yeah.
And was this house, this wasn't in like Raonaid's park or anything like that?
No, it was somewhere else. Yeah.
He stood behind a bush.
And the taxi man was like
drugs.
driving off watching, like, why are you standing behind a bush?
Have you ever like got out of a taxi and then like they don't really drive away?
They do that
right
all the
away.
time. They want to see that you actually live there.
Yeah.
Or that you're okay.
I don't know.
Later, when the taxi man heard about Raonaid, he told the police of this incident. So the police went to this house on Granville Road, knocked on the door, and the couple who answered and lived there, they were like, no one by that description lives here, and no one was here or even knocked on our door on that night.
Wait a minute, go back.
So when the taxi man heard about Raonaid's murder, he told the police of this weird bloodstained man. He was like, I picked up this agitated guy covered in blood. And then I dropped him off here, and he didn't seem to go into the house. He like hid behind a bush, and that's weird. So the police were like, right, off we go. So they go to Granville Road. And the couple who lived there was like, no one by that description lives here.
Okay.
And no one was here. No one knocked on the door. No one was here that night either.
Why did he go to that specific house?
I don't know.
So confusing.
Police spent a good amount of time investigating the bloodstained man. Eventually, detectives had taken 600 statements along the streets the bloodstained man had been seen that night. And police investigated the hedges and bushes in the area to look for the murder weapon. 1 week after Rainey's murder, police set up traffic checkpoints and went around all the pubs and clubs to investigate. The taxi driver made an identikit of the bloodstained man. Police showed people this picture, and right away, people recognised him. They seen him in the local pubs, but
No way.
nobody knew his name. They knew him to see, but nobody knew who he was.
It's never a good thing.
Billy no mates over here. The media was involved too. Dozens of articles published the identikit photo over and over again, imploring the public to come forward and help. But nobody came forward. We have to go back in time a little bit. So they're not only looking for this bloodstained man and female, they're also looking for this other guy, another suspect. A few days after the murder, the police interviewed the Dunleary crew, all of her friends. The police were asking for, and obviously looking for, like, falling outs or rivalries, poking and prodding. How is the group dynamic? The crew said, no, we all get on fine. According to the Dunleary crew, the police were very argumentative and aggressive. They name-called and accused them of being Satanists.
Okay.
Because they're wearing black.
Wow. Obviously Satanists.
One of the Dunleary crew claimed that a cop even struck him.
Oh, God.
While another crew member said that police were speaking poorly of Raonaid, saying that she was a slut and that she had been on drugs.
What?
Yeah, like she was of low character. The Dunleary crew also said that they think that they were trying to find out the drug dealers and stuff, because they would like score the occasional like blunt or something. They were like trying to get drug information, like cover all areas. The crew said police had selective hearing, noting some things down but not others, not taking their advice and concerns seriously, ignoring their concerns about one of Raonaid's odd friends who had a knife fixation.
Ah, goodness sake, so that's your one. And was
no,
she interviewed? Was she interviewed at all?
The violent female friend was mentioned by some of the crew members. They knew that she was in contact with Rainey on the night of the murder. Perhaps she was contacted because Rainey told her that we're all heading out. So they were all in contact. And the crew knew for a fact that she was in Dunleary on that night. The violent female friend has never been interviewed.
That blows my friggin' mind.
Even though the friends were like, this bitch is crazy.
And the police know to be looking out for a female.
Yep.
What on earth?
Yep. This is a real balls
And it's a crime of passion or rage or whatever. So it's like probably not going to be a randomer.
Yeah.
If it was some guy, psycho
if it was some dude, why would some random dude just want to stab you without robbing you? They would rob you or rape you. There's like usually a reason. Usually.
I cannot believe that this person has never been interviewed.
Yeah. But police did write down one statement. This is the other person that they were looking for. The crew mentioned to the police that 5 weeks earlier, Raonaid had danced with a young man in paparazzi's. The crew didn't know his name, but they said he was between 19 to like 22-ish years old. He was about 6 foot. He had blonde, spiky hair, blue eyes. He spoke with a posh accent. He had his top ear pierced. He wore glasses. That night, he was wearing a cream-coloured t-shirt and cream trousers. And he's, according to...
That sounds awful. That sounds bloody awful.
I know. It's like, you sound so beige. Like, Tracy's blonde as well. I forgot to say... Oh, I did say that. You're blonde. You're wearing...
I guess it was
white.
the 90s. It was the 90s. But still.
He's white. He's blonde. He's wearing
I can't believe he's like pulled with that outfit. My goodness. He must have had a great face.
I don't know, man. He looked really average.
Okay.
I know.
So this guy is a suspect.
Yes.
Okay. God love him. He dances with someone and you're suspect.
I know. Oh, yeah.
See, I have a feeling it's not him. I just have this gut feeling.
Well, I don't know. I have to
Oh,
just-
okay. Come on. Give me
keep going.
the dates.
Raonaid left the club with this bloke, and the pair were spotted later at the local kebab shop. Although the Dunleary, I know, it's so
It's just
typical.
such classy time. Okay.
This is still me. I still go for kebabs.
Here, why am I judging? I've been in kebab shops. Kebab shops. Kebab
shop.
places
I
in
think they are called shops.
all hours. They're not called kebab shops.
People call them kebab shops, no? What's it called?
Are you serious?
Is it a takeaway restaurant?
You don't call it like the chippy shop.
The chip shop, yes you do.
Oh yes, you do. I stand corrected. I very much stand corrected.
I thought it was a kebab shop.
All right, the kebab shop. I don't know why that sounds funny to me.
Although the Dunleary crew did not know this guy, people in other crews had sort of exiled and shunned him.
Oh, because of his fashion choices. Sorry. I'll stop.
No, that was a good one. Well, no, it's very serious. He had allegedly, now this is rumor, I don't know. I don't want to go around pointing fingers.
Okay.
He had allegedly sexually assaulted a girl who was asleep at a party.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ew.
This guy, okay. Well, he is a suspect then if he's capable of that. What else is he capable of, you know?
So Raonaid left the kebab shop with this guy, and the friends, because they didn't know him, they didn't really think anything of it. That is until she abruptly landed back at her friend's house, frantic.
Oh no.
Yeah. Wanting to be taken home. She wouldn't tell her friend why she was so upset, even though the friend was like, tell me. Yeah, she was like, no. But it was something the friend was able to get out of her, something about a man was following her home.
Oh, jeekers.
So it could have been Blondie. It could have been the blonde man.
Yeah.
Had maybe they had sexy time and then he followed her home. Maybe she refused him and then he followed her home. Maybe it was somebody else. Just randomly started following her home. Raonaid demanded a taxi home. So her friend tried the best to get all she could out of her, but eventually she just called a taxi and Raonaid left.
Oh, like what women have to go through, right?
I know.
Mean, I don't mean to be sexist here, but you don't ever really hear of a guy being like, oh, this woman followed me home. Like, when have you ever heard that story? Right?
What is the saying? Men are scared that women will laugh at them. Women are scared that men will kill them.
Oh, Jesus. That's frightening.
It's true.
I know. Anywho, that's another story for another day.
It's an all too familiar story. So the friends, they told the police this story. They didn't know the guy's name, didn't know anything about him, where he lived, blah, blah, blah.
How long before her death did this happen, where she was followed home? Was it a few months?
Sorry, that was 5 weeks.
Okay, 5 weeks.
It's very soon.
Yeah, that's close
ago.
to be suspicious. Yeah.
She could have been being followed for 5 weeks.
Yeah, the same
maybe
person. More. Yeah.
It could have been, yeah. So the friends, they drew a picture of this slim blonde man.
Okay.
And also published it, showed it around people, the newspapers and stuff like that. But after a week or so, police were getting nowhere. There was no eyewitnesses coming forward, and the police had no solid lead to follow. They didn't even know the route that Raonaid had taken to get home. They don't even know what street she was on.
Okay.
There were about 5 routes she could have taken home. But police thought Corrig Avenue was the most likely one. They just were like, yeah, that one. Okay. Bam.
For no reason.
They're like, it must be this one. 3 weeks later, a local woman came forward and she said that she had seen Raonaid on this night. Had seen Raonaid on this street, Corrig Avenue, at 11:53 exactly. She said she had seen Raonaid with a young man. She noticed the girl was walking away from the man briskly. Her description of the man was strikingly similar to the slim, blonde man.
OMG.
He was tall, he had scruffy blonde hair, and he was wearing beige trousers and a cream t-shirt.
It's him. It's him.
She drew a picture of the man, also strikingly similar to the slim
she drew it, or the
man.
police illustrator drew it?
Oh no, the policeman illustrator person.
I thought it sounded like she drew it.
She drew a portrait.
That'd make me suspicious of her.
Oh, you freak!
Okay, so it looked like him.
Some people did not believe this woman's statement. They think the police had something to do with it.
Because it was like too perfect.
It was too perfect. It was all too easy.
Okay.
When the Gardaí needed an eyewitness most, when they needed to narrow the search, a woman came forward 3 weeks after the murder with an exact description that the Dunleary crew gave them 2 weeks prior.
I was thinking it was very late for someone to come forward as well.
3 weeks? That's a long time. 7 months after Raonaid's murder, the slim blonde man was still not found. No tips, no leads came in after this lady. Other fair-haired men were interviewed and stricken off. Now, we're going a year in the future.
Oh.
The next year, nothing has happened. The bloodstained man was spotted and was arrested in Dublin.
No way.
When he was arrested and brought into the police station, he was carrying a chef's style knife.
Stop it.
It was analysed, but no blood was found. They couldn't make any forensic connection.
Like, could they not say it was the same diameter or whatever, or, you know?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it wasn't.
Ah, okay. But
Yeah,
but if you're a chef, you've access to lots of knives.
Yeah, this is it. You can get a new knife in a year.
It's not like you just have one knife. Yeah.
Turns out he was already wanted by the police. 1 for sexual assault and 1 for vandalism on a police car.
What an idiot.
The bloodstained man was in his mid-20s and suffering from heroin addiction.
Oh dear.
And at the time of Raonaid's murder, he was working as a chef in Dunleary.
Dun dun dun.
Later, when they interviewed him, he denied any involvement and he denied even knowing Raonaid. Although some of the crew said that they knew him.
Oh.
They're saying that he's lying.
Pretty damning.
But we know him.
Yeah.
The bloodstained man did have an alibi for the night of the murder, although it was a pretty weak one. He was able to prove that a phone call was made from his residence on that evening. Someone called. I see, that's it. It's not necessarily you. Someone called Directory Inquiry.
Like the phone book kind of thing.
Yeah, the phone book. Yeah, that's it. And it's like, that's pretty weak.
It is. Yeah, it just reminded me of the case. What is his name? It was on Netflix. The Family Next Door. He killed his wife and daughters and put them into the water tanks.
I thought it was like The American Murder or something.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. But he checked. He put on the TV to check what episode of her favorite show was on, so that he could say, yeah, we got up that morning and we watched that show. And I could be totally mixing up my cases, but I remember just thinking that is psycho to check, so premeditated to want to have that alibi. And but then they were like, but that doesn't mean that she watched it with you. He was like, well, why would I have that on? That was her show. She was the one that watched that. Why would the TV be on? Why would that show be on? It's like, because you put it on. Sorry.
Unfortunately, in early 2000, Raonaid's grave was vandalised.
Who the hell would do that?
I know, right? A teddy bear.
Scum of the earth.
A teddy bear that was sitting on the grave was torn apart and the cross was pulled out of the ground.
Oh my god.
So gross.
Could you get more evil? What on earth? It does make me think that it's the psycho girl. I don't know, is it that just because you planted that in my head from the start? Or it just, not to be harsh against our sex, but it just seems like a psycho girl thing to do.
Yeah.
To rip up a teddy bear. I don't know. It's like a jealousy thing.
It is.
Why? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Police said that it could have been random. Like, the like it was a
No,
randomly
I
picked.
hate when that's such a police thing to say. Such an excuse. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Please shut up.
But Raonaid's parents were sure it was on purpose. This.
Oh, come on. Of course it was.
The vandalism would actually happen again and again, so often that CCTV cameras were installed to catch the culprit, but they were never successful.
Damn it!
The Murrays also set up a website so that people could pay their respects and leave comments. This too was vandalized.
Stop it. Stop it. Why did someone was so against this girl? Like, what did they have against her? Oh my God, let it go.
Yeah. She's dead.
She's dead,
go.
yeah.
Let her rest.
Wow. I mean, this is a whole nother level.
On the 5th anniversary of Rainey's death, the family received a letter from the blood-stained man.
No.
Allegedly.
What the hell did it say?
He claimed he had recently been researching Rainey's case. He was writing his condolences and prayers to the family. He claimed that he was not the killer and that in fact the killer has already been interviewed by the police.
How does he know that?
I don't know.
How does he know who the killer is?
Maybe he does know. Unless he's just, because he's been researching the case, he's pretty sure.
He thinks he knows.
He thinks he knows who it is.
Or he was involved and he technically didn't do the killing himself, but he was there and that's why he got covered in blood. I don't know.
He claimed that it was someone who the police ruled out early and quickly.
Okay.
People have asked, is he pointing the finger at someone else to take the heat off him? This is a possibility.
Was his blood on his clothes ever explained?
No. Well, I guess if he's a heroin addict, probably going to have blood on his
Or he
clothes.
got in a fight, or I don't know. Okay.
Maybe.
He's just a mess. Okay.
The police interviewed him again and they said they had changed their mind. They don't believe it was the bloodstained man.
Okay.
Each year, Rainey's family issue an appeal for more information. They offer for a reward of €190,000. These appeals for information have been renewed, particularly with authorities suspecting that any young people who may have witnessed the crime, like maybe there was other people there, that maybe that they have now reached a better level of maturity so that they can discuss what they saw. But still, nothing. By 2008, there were over 8,000 people interviewed and 3,000 statements were taken. There were and there were 12 arrests. But the violent female friend has never been interviewed.
This is bonkers. This is bonkers.
The motive for
Is she related to someone in the police?
She
or
said,
like,
this is
why?
it. She might be. A motive for the murder has never been made. The knife used to murder Rainey has never been found.
Oh my God.
A cold case review team have since suggested that it was not the work of a random killer, that Rainey knew her killer, as there was no record of a similar attack happening before or after this particular crime anywhere in the Dublin region. So there was no serial killer, there was no serial stabber going around. The nature of the attack would suggest that whoever killed the victim held a personal grudge. The cold case review team believe that Rainey was killed by a female.
Okay, here we go. And are they going to interview the blinking girl?
The cold case team identified a woman who had a reputation for violence against women. Unfortunately, she left the country 1 year after the murder took place, and she still lives abroad
is this the
today.
crazy psycho girl?
I don't know.
Sorry, say that again?
I don't know. She still lives abroad today.
Do we know, is that the crazy friend?
I don't think they have said who it is, but I think it's the crazy friend. I think it's the psycho girl.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I don't think they're allowed to, like, say,
Okay.
you can't just, like, witch hunt for somebody. And that is the end of the case.
Oh, I hate that. I mean, this person who's moved away to a different country, I wonder, are they continuing to do things like this, or
I hope
she
not.
just had that one thing against that one girl and that's it, now she's going to behave, or what? Like, what?
I know.
Oh. And the whole grave thing, like, that was horrible, but it was the chance to actually catch the person.
Yeah.
That was really frustrating.
Yeah, it was probably a really shit camera.
Like, CCTV isn't enough. They should have had police undercover sitting watching, ready to pounce.
But, like, it could be, what if it's a friend and they're like, oh, I'm coming to pay my respect? How are you meant to, you can't disprove that?
No, but you wait until they defile the grave or whatever, or trash the grave. You wait.
I don't know.
Catch them in the
okay
act.
for that.
What's your opinion? Do you think it was the girl?
I think it's the girl, yeah.
I think her friends know. She was in a group of friends, and there's always like one or two people that you're extra close with, and like she had friends, and there's no phones. You're around them all the time. All you have to do is talk. That's all there is to do. You hang out. You're that age where it's like that's what you do. You hang out and talk. They know her. The friends know the answer.
Yeah. I think as well, though, that it's almost like everybody was too nice about Rainey. I mean, where was she for those 45 minutes? Or that half an hour between Scott's pub and the junction? I think the friends are covering up for maybe a secret life. Maybe she had like a secret boyfriend, or that maybe she was on drugs. Maybe she was experimenting with drugs.
Because the blonde guy, he was doing heroin.
No, the dark-haired guy, involved. The bloodstained guy was doing heroin.
Oh, bloodstained guy was doing heroin. Sorry. The blonde guy wasn't doing any drugs?
No, he was a student.
Maybe she got involved with the bloodstained guy.
Yeah, maybe
and
there was and it's just maybe.
That's a good theory.
I feel like they're trying to be nice and respectful and respect her.
But at the
life.
same time,
who
cares if you did some drugs? Yeah. You're dead now. The important thing is to get closure for the family. But their kids, maybe they're not thinking logically. I don't know. Or they think they're going to get in trouble because maybe they were involved with the drugs as well.
Maybe they were doing heroin? I don't know.
Because they said it felt like the police were trying to get drug info out of them and they didn't like that.
Yeah, they did say that.
So there's a whole element of that.
Yep.
Oh.
Like, what happened in that half hour between she left the pub and there was something spotted? Like, surely somebody knows something. That's a long period of time. She's in a town that nobody has seen.
She was not on her own.
She wasn't.
She wasn't on her own for that period of time.
Definitely with somebody. She had to be.
And if she was going out that night, maybe she was like doing a bit of drugs, getting high, get her high on before she went out, before she went home to get ready.
Maybe. Which is fine.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you get murdered. I mean, see, the bloodstained guy, right? The way he reached out to the family with the letter, I find that very suspicious.
Yeah.
It's like he's inserting himself in it, and he's like, "Oh, I know all this stuff," and
but he was already.
He's trying to deflect from him. It's like you don't need to deflect from him. The police have already done that. Like if the police aren't
the
suspecting
police deflected,
you anymore,
well, they
you don't need to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's suspicious that you're now drawing attention back to yourself. The police have already cleared you. Go lay low. Why are you resurfacing and inserting yourself in their lives? And I think by sending them the letter, that's going to really throw them and bring it all back up for them. And it's like they're having to relive it, and it's traumatic. And that fits in with what the person was doing to the grave.
Yeah.
Like, bringing it all up, bringing more drama into it. I think that could be the same person doing those two different things. I don't know. The bloodstained man, I mean, he had the friggin' knife on him.
Yeah.
I think he could. Police maybe should look into him. Like, he's still in Dublin or wherever. Like, they could look into him again. Oh,
they said they don't think it's him.
They don't think it's him.
It's a mystery.
He's very suspicious, though.
But he's been interviewed many times.
Wow, I don't know. Wow. Let us know what you guys think, because I'm very torn on this one. We'd love to hear in the comments what you think. or if you know more about this case. I'd never heard about this case. I'd say it's probably very famous in Dublin.
Yes, I think it is. I never heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Len Mullen.
Thank you, Len.
For recommending this. But yeah, let us know what you think. Who do you think? Do you think it was the blonde guy, the psycho girl, or the bloodstained man? Or maybe it's somebody else. Maybe I have skipped somebody.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Slán Amalia.
Bye-bye.
And how long before... Oh, Jesus Christ!
What happened?
I'm so on edge. Something just fell off the bed. I'm just really into this story right now. Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.